Donald Trump spent the day attacking business leaders who don't support him, saying that they all deserve to be fired if they don't support him. Here's what Donald Trump posted. Business executives and shareholder representatives should be 100% behind Donald Trump. That's how he refers to himself as. Anybody that's not should be fired for incompetence. That's what Donald Trump is posting. That sounds a little bit Marxist, fascist, communist to me. That's what you're posting on your social media. Look, Donald Trump's been very sensitive after those news reports emerged when Donald Trump held that private meeting in Washington, D.C. with American business leaders who I think it's offensive that they even met with an insurrectionist, convicted felon, adjudicated sexual assaulter in the first place, but put that aside for now. But they all reported separately that Donald Trump was meandering, that he couldn't get out coherent sentences, that he couldn't even put any thoughts together. Basically, the same thing that we observe when we show you Donald Trump's speeches, like where he has fictitious conversations with fictitious characters from movies who are cannibal murderers. When Donald Trump says, you know who I really like? I like the late, great Hannibal Lecter is a good buddy of mine. Or when Donald Trump talks about how he'd rather be electrocuted than eaten by sharks, or he talks about the late, great Al Capone, or just starts rambling. So Donald Trump's very sensitive. So he's saying if a business leader doesn't support him, they need to be fired immediately. I mean, again, what a disqualifying, ridiculous thing to say. What else was Donald Trump posting about? He also said the following. Bunch of BS. Attendee at Trump's CEO meeting refutes media reports. The attendee who spoke with the Daily Signal, so if the Daily Signal's publishing it, I must be right, told the Daily Signal that the reporting from Sorkin, from CNBC, the interpretation was wrong. The Daily Signal granted the attendee anonymity to speak candidly about the private meeting. If you were there and you were a business leader and you are reporting that Donald Trump was not meandering and that he was normal, why would you need to be granted anonymity from the Daily Signal if you were just going to say he was coherent? He was coherent. This is what the person needed to be source protected on, apparently, this person. There was never a moment of meandering. He was focused. And he received an ovation. He received an ovation at the Ensure. Just like you have millions of people who attend your events, and just like you're not meandering when you give speeches where you spend the whole time talking about passing dementia tests throughout the day. I mean, look, this seems like a very stable person, somebody who posts memes like this with Jesus holding his shoulder, or the Constitution's preamble giving him a hug, or other all caps messages. That sounds like something that a real, normal, stable individual would post. It is just so odd. Donald Trump also posts the following. The U.S.-Saudi petrodollar pact ends after 50 years. www.tipranks.com. So one of the things that Donald Trump is jealous at is that President Biden broke OPEC. OPEC was working, they still are trying to interfere with our elections by trying to raise the price of a barrel of oil past 100 to jack up the prices of gas. What President Biden did was he used America's strategic reserves, sold it high, flooded the market with it, drove prices down, then bought to refill the strategic reserves when the barrel of gas was low. And as a result, the OPEC cartel's attempt to artificially manipulate the price of gas to inflate it was thwarted. That makes Donald Trump very, very upset. You remember when Donald Trump had previously said that he had worked and he had spoke with Saudi Arabia and he spoke with Russia. Remember, he said he spoke with them to actually raise the prices? That was a direct quote from Donald Trump, that he wanted to keep the prices high. when he was in office to help them out.
With a growing family, making sure I know everyone in my life is taken care of in case disaster strikes is more crucial than ever. I can never know life's next turn, and life insurance helps provide peace of mind. That's why I chose Policygenius. Policygenius is the country's leading online insurance marketplace. It makes choosing the right policy for your family easy and quick. With Policygenius, you can find life insurance policies that start at just $292 per year for $1 million of coverage. Some options are 100% online and let you avoid unnecessary medical exams. Policygenius helps you easily compare your options from America's top insurers in just a few clicks. Their award-winning agents can even walk you through the process step by step. Policygenius has no incentive to recommend one insurer over another, so you can trust their guidance. Don't take my word for it, though. Policygenius has thousands of 5-star reviews on Google and Trustpilot from customers who found the best fit for their needs. Get peace of mind by finding the right life insurance with Policygenius. Head to policygenius.com/legalaf or click the link in the description to get your free life insurance quotes and see how much you could save. That's policygenius.com/legalaf.
Also, like how Donald Trump says, an anonymous source says he wasn't meandering. Really? I mean, a person who keeps posting like the following, the Democrats' new form of cheating, right? For Donald Trump and the fascist framing, everything is cheating, everything is rigged. Heads, I win. Tails, you lose. Or in MAGA's world, tails, you cheat, it's rigged, right? The whole new thing that they're saying is President Biden is going to be jacked up on drugs in the debate. That's why Donald Trump's going to lose, because Biden's going to be jacked up on drugs. Talking about who's ever had a conversation about debating where you're like, you know, that great debater must be on performance enhancing drugs. That's likely the reason that they're such a good debate. It's only a MAGA thing. And by the way, they all go on. You have like Dr. Ronnie Jackson, who Trump calls Dr. Ronnie Johnson, who apparently administers dementia tests to Donald Trump all the time, who says things like, look, I think President Biden's going to be on Provigil. I think he's going to be on Adderall. And that's why he's going to do really well at the debate. Because the whole thing is the right-wing media pushes all of these lies about President Biden, and they say he's Sleepy Joe, and they say he can't walk. But then when the American public gets to see him, like at the State of the Union in various speeches, and he actually performs the way he does every single day, they then have to go, oh, the reason that he's so good is because he's jacked up on drugs. That's why. Meanwhile, when Trump was in office, if you take a look at the Department of Defense Inspector General's report, it is alleged that when Ronnie Jackson was overseeing the kind of supply of drugs, if you will, at the White House, that the White House was turned into a literal pill mill with Versed being handed out, which is like the date rape drug, Provigil, 4,108 pills of Provigil that were handed out. You had fentanyl patches working their way through the White House. Like, what in the world is going on there? Ketamine being passed out the White House. I like the way that's just ignored by corporate media. Like, oh, sure, it was a pill mill. Donald Trump also showed up to like the first debate with Biden with COVID and hit it and was trying to like kill Biden, whatever. Like, why would we report that? Anyway, Donald Trump then reports the following. This is not naive trust. It's a trust based on track record, says Texas megachurch pastor Robert Jeffries, an enthusiastic Trump supporter. I think what evangelicals agree with is his general narrative that America would be better off if we return to our Judeo-Christian roots. What that looks like, people are willing to give him great leeway on how it would be implemented. Just think about what Donald Trump is saying right there. The ends justify the means. To turn America, return to a Judeo-Christian roots, we're willing to give him great leeway in how that would be implemented, meaning let him engage in crimes, let him be an adjudicated sexual assaulter, he can hang out with Epstein, do whatever he wants to give him immunity, SEAL Team 6, kill his political opponents, whatever it takes Just rip apart our Constitution, whatever it takes. That's what Donald Trump is spending his time posting. On the other hand, if you want to take a look at what President Biden's posting so we can compare, like, I don't know, what like normal posts look like and what normal statements are, President Biden writes, "Dreamers who came to America as children only know America as their home. They've been able to live and learn out of the shadows, graduate from school, build successful careers, serve our nation in uniform and more. We're better and a stronger nation because of dreamers." President Biden then posts, "I'm not interested in playing politics with the border or immigration like Trump does. I'm interested in fixing it." Here's the video that President Biden posted from his speech.
These are the fears my predecessors trying to play on when he says immigrants. And his words are poison the blood of the country. When he calls immigrants, in his words, animals. When he was president, he separated families and children at the border. And now he's proposing to rip spouses and children from their families and homes and communities and place them in detention camps. He's actually saying these things. It's hard to believe it's being said, but he's actually saying these things out loud. And it's outrageous. Folks, I'm not interested in playing politics with the border or immigration. I'm interested in fixing it.
President Biden also posted, "Today I signed an executive order with new actions to keep families together. These new measures will clarify and speed up work visas to help people, including dreamers, who have graduated from American colleges and universities, land jobs in high-demand, high-skilled professions, and streamline the process for obtaining legal status for immigrants married to American citizens." President Biden posts, "MAGA Republicans in Congress are siding with the wealthy and special interests to cut Social Security, increase the retirement age, and transition Medicare to a system that would raise premiums for many seniors. It's cruel and unnecessary. I will always fight for America's seniors." Oh, you mean President Biden's not posting strange videos of the Constitution hugging him or Jesus holding his shoulders or all caps messages? You mean he's actually posting sensible policies and that's what he's talking about? Anyway, I think it's important that we show you those comparisons. I'm Ben Meiselas. This is the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 3 million together. Thanks for watching.
Real quick, Meta just changed their algorithm to suppress political content. Please follow our Instagram at MeidasTouch right now as we head towards 400,000 followers so you don't miss a beat.